Hey everyone, welcome to an exciting news breakdown here on DC Spin Master. Alright, as always, I'm your host of Frozen Stratos, and today, well, we have some brand new images coming out for the 4-inch line, as well as a tiny little bit of stuff for the 12-inch line. I know a lot of you in the comments have really been wanting me to cover some 12-inch stuff, and I told you, if I find some new things that I kind of know are new, I will let you know. So that will be toward the end, but let's dive into the 4-inch stuff, where we have a brand new Deathstroke versus Batman 2-pack. Now, all these images you're about to see come courtesy of @DatFigures on Instagram. I will leave those links in the description down below to where you can take a look at these images yourself. Once again, I have no idea how anyone is able to find these images, but they are, so you know what? We get to reap the benefits because these look really cool. Now, this is a 2-pack that we did not technically know about. It wasn't part of the plan, and we'll get to that in a bit, but these look awesome. On top of that, this is another one of those 2/3 packs. It's a 2-pack if you consider it just 2 figures, but it's a 3-pack if you consider, you know, that the vehicle is not an accessory and its own thing. I don't know. It's 2 figures and a vehicle. That's basically all you need to know. This vehicle looks great though. I do appreciate that it is an actual tank, except this one is called a crawler for some reason. I feel like the original one looks less like a tank than this one, except that one's called a tank. It also just sort of looks like that other motorcycle looking one is slowly transforming itself into a tank like this. Anyway, this looks interesting. Can't wait to get it in hand. And here's basically everything that's going to be coming in the pack. It's another one of those things that's filled with accessories, so I'm very excited about that. The Deathstroke figure does come with 2 katana, and they are painted, presumably. They do look really cool. I'm very excited about that. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a pistol. He has a holster, but he's got no pistol. I don't know, man. Kinda sucks, but I guess I get it, since there have been no real, like, actual guns in this line yet. I mean, I guess you kind of have a few gun-looking items, but you could pass those off as, like, grappling hooks or something. Either way, this Batman that we're getting, this does seem to be the sort of Dark Knight Returns looking Batman mold. I know it's not exactly one-to-one Dark Knight Returns, but this looks fine. I mean, we've had this figure before. It has translucent blue. I'm more fine getting this because there are some very interesting things to it. But the Deathstroke, on the other hand, here he is compared to the 4-inch figure, like the single-carded 4-inch figure that we are getting later on in the year. And it does seem to be that the paint apps, where they are applied, are exactly the same. There doesn't seem to be like a color difference, except for this single carded one seems to be shinier. So I don't know if they are the same. I presume that this single carded figure is going to come with an extra 3rd accessory. I don't know what that will be. Either way, I am excited. I hope, I don't know, part of me hopes they're different, part of me hopes they're the same. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but hey, I'm excited for it. Anyway, that's not all I wanted to talk about, because we do have some packaging images. The back of it looks pretty bog standard, nothing out of the ordinary here, but once you get to the front, it seems like there's potentially no window on this thing. This does seem to be a rendered image just plastered onto the front of it. Whether or not we will be getting the actual, you know, figures in a window card is yet to be seen. But it does seem to be, like, in this image, it's all just going to be cardboard, which is fine. I remember Hasbro is doing a really big push to get rid of window boxes, just, you know, for the sake of sustainability and less plastic use, which is really awesome. And I think this might be another step in that direction, at least for Spin Master as well, just sort of responding to that and wanting to be a bit more sustainable. On top of that, at the top left, there seems to be a QR code for an app download. And worst case scenario, this is just some sort of game that the kids can play and then they'll forget about in like a day or two. Or best case scenario, it could be a checklist. I have no idea, but I can't wait to see what this entails. I tried to scan this, but the images that were provided were too low res for me to actually get a good look at that QR code. So that is rather unfortunate. But hey, if you wanted to reconstruct it yourself, by all means, go ahead. Anyway, I do believe that's it for this thing, but is it out yet? Well, let's take a look at what the full year plan was, because if you remember a while ago, we got this full year's plan leak, and if you look under tech vehicles with 4-inch figures, you have Batman Bane Bat Tank Cycle and Batman Mr. Freeze Batwing, none of which include a Deathstroke. So it seems that this is not technically part of the plan, either that or this is a store exclusive, because store exclusives did not make it into this list. So potentially that is a store exclusive, and I have heard reports, like very loose reports, that those are actually making it to market now. So it is potentially an April 1st release to go along with Wave 6, like Batman Overall Wave 6 or Year 2 Wave 2. That is set to come out April 1st, or like street dated in and around the April area. So maybe that's why those are leaking out, because we have actually had some reports of Wave 6 and or Year 2 Wave 2 coming out to market so far. I have seen images floating around of Batgirl, Nightwing, and Robin so far from this second wave of this year. I didn't want to show it because, you know, those were other people's images and I did not know where they came from. They've just been floating around. So do keep in mind that April is quickly approaching and street dates basically mean nothing to a lot of retailers. So these could be making it out to the store shelves now. I know a lot of people, even myself, are finding it difficult to even find the Mr. Freeze of last wave. So we'll see what happens, because so far my shelves are completely clogged. Like, they cannot move any of this product, so I don't even know if any of these are going to make it to my shelves. Either way, very excited for everyone who's going to be getting their hands on these sooner rather than later. Anyway, that is it for the 4-inch news. Let's move into the 12-inch news, where it's new, but it's not that great. And once again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this. I think this is new, but Dat Figures was able to locate more images of this. This is another vehicle Batman 2-pack, except this Batman is blue and the Batmobile is blue. That's it. That is all I've seen so far. You can rest Batman inside it if you would like. This is the packaging for it if you would like to sort of be able to identify this. On top of that, there is a single packed version of the Batmobile just on its own if you would like that instead. That's actually it for the 12-inch line. I really could not find anything else. There's nothing really that I've found, and not a lot of people are really, I guess, mining these images and looking for them, or at least posting them to places that I can find. But hey, if you end up finding any sort of information, there are links in the description down below to my Twitter, where you can probably better get at me, either DC Spin Master on Twitter or at Frozen Stratos on Twitter, whichever you'd like. Frozen Stratos is my personal one, and the DC Spin Master one, obviously, for this. Anyway, that seems to be it for now. Thank you guys so much for being patient with a lot of the content that comes out on this channel. I have a lot of other channels to keep my hands on, so but I will do my best to get the news out as quickly as I can when I see it. Also, there are links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos. On top of that, there are some anti-Asian violence resources linked in the description. That is, you know, a cause that is obviously very dear to my heart, so please educate yourself on these topics. They're in the description. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Keep it